Continue with our team coverage. Is this one of those days that this weather is going to disrupt your morning routine?
Yeah, and it's that transition that we're really concerned about. I know you may look outside and say it's just raining, but it's the transition to the snow, and then if things freeze over, that's what's going to prove extra tricky. So let's check in now with Channel 3 Eyewitness News reporter Roger Suzanne. He's kind of been waterlogged along the streets there in New Britain. What are conditions like there now, Roger? Did you get an umbrella?
Hey, no umbrella for me. You know, I can't, I don't want to cover up this head of hair with anything, whether it be a hat or an umbrella. No, kidding aside, the rain, if anything, it's lightened a teeny tiny bit. I know you probably don't believe me as I look like I am super soaked out here. But what we know, as you mentioned, is the transition is going to be the problem. If you head out onto the roads right now, and we're in downtown New Britain, you can see the bottom line. They are just plain old wet. I can tell you I did see one driver slipping just a little bit here in downtown New Britain, but for the most part we're talking about just wet, soggy roads. The problem with that, though, because I did speak with the DOT crew member about this, is that with this kind of rain early in the morning before we get ice and potentially a little bit of snow, the problem with that is they can't really pre-treat the roads, because if they do so, well, it would just be bottom line washed away. Now, I can tell you, if you're walking around, you can see that the temperature is cold enough that the sidewalks and the pavement are beginning to ice just a little bit. So if you're walking around, if you're driving around, you might already deal with some slippery conditions. But if your commute starts right now, it's mostly just plain old rain. You'll probably be okay as long as you slow down just a little bit. But most people, obviously, they head out a little bit later than now, and that could be when the problems arise if the temperatures dip, as Scott has been mentioning and tracking, of course, and if we get a little bit of ice and snow. So bottom line, you live in New England, you are used to dealing with conditions like this, but keep it slow, be safe, and certainly add a little extra time into your commute, particularly if it's a little bit later in the morning. We're going to continue to track the conditions here in New Britain, but for now, live in New Britain, I'm Roger Suzanne, Channel 3 Eyewitness News.